Today we are walking through my entire SLG small leather good collection. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Celesta. We talk about all things luxury shopping and handbags. If you love those things, make sure to subscribe, hit that bell notification, and do post videos every week. Okay, so I feel like this video is long overdue. I don't know why I never did one before, and I have always been a big proponent of, like, you don't need multiple SLGs. Like, we don't need multiple wallets, we don't need multiple card holders. And then looking at my collection, I realized I actually have a lot of duplicates, but I'm gonna walk you guys through like my thoughts on each of them and if it's worth getting, keeping. But I'm gonna walk through each of my SLG pieces, a little review, if it's worth it, all of that. Without further ado, let's just jump right into it. Okay, so I figured we'd start with the card holders. I have 3 card holders with me. 2 are very similar, one's a little bit different, but we'll walk through kind of each one, all of that. Okay, so starting with my newest, this is the Celine Triomphe flap card holder. This was surprisingly hard to get. Like when I first eyed this in the store near me, I was like, oh, like this is nice, maybe, who knows, I'll see if there's any colors that come out. It was also the same time where I was having some like quality issues with my Chanel card holder. Not like bad, but it's not like it was defective, but more of like wear and tear. And I was honestly surprised that this didn't last very long, but I'll get into that in a little bit. But with this card holder, I reached for canvas, and this was honestly really hard to justify because the leather option was only $10 more. I think the canvas one is $480 and then the leather one is $490, something like that. So it was only $10 more to get the leather. So in my head, the best value is the leather one, but I'm running into the same issue with the Chanel one where I wanted a card holder that I can really throw around, use every day, not have to baby it. And I'm so glad I went for the canvas. I used to have the Louis Vuitton reverse monogram card holder, and that was my first card holder. I literally threw that around all the time, never had to baby it, never had to worry. And I think when I got a leather card holder, I thought I could treat it the same and it would be fine, and it was not fine. But one of my favorite features about this is the 2 slots right when you open it. So in the front, there's this front pocket here. I usually keep my ID here in the front, and then there's also one in the back. So hypothetically, if there's a card that you reach for all the time, you don't even need to open the front slot. You can just grab it from the back. I also feel like this fits quite a bit of cards. There's a few cards in here. I really don't carry too many cards around, but it does have the ability to stretch. You can keep cash, coins, something that like this card holder doesn't really allow for. And then speaking of the Chanel card holder, I've made a few videos on this. The wear and tear for this is just so disappointing. I think that's probably the best way to put it. The corners have a lot of wear on them. The hardware has scratches. There's a little bit of color transfer, and this is in caviar leather. This is not even in lambskin. I can't imagine what this would look like if I got it in lambskin. Is it my fault that I got not black? Maybe. I think you can see color transfer on anything that's not black. Is it my fault? Maybe. But I do like the color of this. I'm just so disappointed in the wear and tear of this. I will say though, this card holder is a lot bigger than my Louis Vuitton card holder that I used to have. This has the ability to fit 2 card slots here, and then the middle compartment feels like it has a little bit more stretch compared to the canvas Louis Vuitton card holder. This card holder has kind of been retired a little bit since I got this one. I'll still reach for this, but I also feel like this one it's just bulkier. So if you have smaller bags, this takes up a lot more space than if you were to just use a flat card holder. And then last but not least, I also have this Polène card holder. This is the smallest card holder, but this is also the cheapest card holder. I believe when I got it, it was around like 65 euros. So it was like not very expensive. They did do a price increase earlier this year, but for the most part, this is the cheapest card holder. It comes in this beautiful pink color, but it doesn't fit very much either. So you can fit 1 card here, 1 in the middle, and then 1 in the back. So it doesn't fit very much. It doesn't have too much stretch to it either, but this also is relatively small. So if you did have a smaller bag, you can probably fit this over this or this. I think for the price that you're paying, this is the best value, right? Like if you're not looking to splurge on a designer card holder, if you don't really want to baby it, like maybe you should because it is still smooth leather, but for the price, I'm okay just kind of like tossing it around. I think it's okay. And so for that reason, out of all three of these card holders, I think the Polène is the best value that you're gonna get. You're still gonna be able to use this every day. You're still gonna be able to fit the 3, maybe 4 cards that you use every single day. If you're looking for something a little bit bigger, I would recommend the Celine Triomphe in canvas. This has been something that's very carefree. I use this all the time. There's still bare like hairline scratches on the hardware, really less than I thought. And I really like having the back pocket. This, you really don't need this. This I bought because it was Chanel. I was like, yes, I totally need a Chanel classic card holder. And this is probably one of those that I really like didn't think I needed. I'm not getting rid of this. I also don't think that I can sell it for what it's worth, but I'm just really disappointed in how it's held up. Okay, moving on to little key pouches. So starting with my oldest, this is the Louis Vuitton key pouch. You guys are very familiar with this one. I've had this since February of 2019. And this was something that I used every single day. This was attached to my car keys back pre-pandemic when I would drive to work every day, leave my house. This was something I used all the time. Again, this is an all canvas key pouch card holder. I will say this doesn't fit like your regular car fob. It's really flat, but it does fit up to, I think it's 12 or 14 cards. So what I really used for this was I had this attached to my car keys. I had my like health insurance card in there, my AAA card, like kind of those things that you didn't really want to keep in your card holder. And then I also had a copy of my house key in here. It is really flat. It doesn't fit too much, but I did like that it was attached to my car key. So this came with me everywhere I went. I will say though, the hardware has not held up very well. The hardware is starting to tarnish. Actually it's tarnishing in a lot of places. I was told that you can bring this into Louis Vuitton and they would replace it for you, but I don't use this all too much. Ever since I got the Lulu dual pouch, I really don't use this one that very much anymore. So it's kind of whatever for me. I will say though, with the new price increase, I think this is like $300 or maybe even $400 now. I don't think this is worth it. When this was $200, just shy of $200, I was like, yes, this is great. Also, this was really hard to find, at least when I wanted it. I don't know if it's still hard to find, but I'm glad I had this and I used this so much, especially when I left my house. Now that I don't really leave my house, I don't use it too much, but I am really glad that I have this. And if I left my house more, I would definitely repurchase this if I needed to. My newest one is actually from Polène. And if you haven't seen that Polène video, I'll leave it up here for you guys. But basically you can go to the New York store only and you can use their scrap leather materials and make a keychain. And I think this is the most functional keychain because it doubles as a card pouch, coin pouch, cash pouch, key pouch, and this is a little bit bigger, so I think this would fit my car key fob in here. It for sure fits cards. It does fit coins, cash, you know, all of that, and I really like that you can heat stamp at the bottom. I believe this is around $80 to $100, so significantly cheaper than this one. But I will say though, having a button closure is not as practical as a zipper closure. I think something about having a zipper closure is just like so much easier. Both of these I really like. I will say that this one I am a little bit more worried about getting it dirty, having color transfer, you know, all of these things, because it is a lighter color leather, but for the price, you can't really beat it. This for sure is worth it, especially if you're looking to go to the Polène store in New York. That store is totally worth checking out. Like, how many stores do they have this giant machine where you can make your own keychain? Not very many. This one, if you can get your hands on it, I say yes, but I wouldn't jump through hoops to get one. Especially now that with the current prices, I wouldn't jump through hoops just to get one. Moving on to full-size wallets. This was actually my first Louis Vuitton piece. This was my first luxury piece. I got this in December of 2015 in Paris at the flagship store. This was like 350 euros at the time. And I think now this is around $600, $550. And this, like, I felt so proud that I bought this. I think I was 18 at the time. This was our first trip in Paris, and this holds so many good memories. I think this was really the first time where I felt like I worked hard, I saved up my money, and I bought this. And I remember having a goal of like, hey, I'm gonna save 10 times the amount, and then I'm going to treat myself to this. Granted that at the time you thought that was a lot of money. So yes, which it is, it's still a lot of money. And so I was so proud of myself. This is the Louis Vuitton Clemence wallet. It's in canvas, and then it has this like pink interior. This is just such a memorable piece to have, and I haven't used a full-size wallet in years. I can't remember the last time I actually used this. I might have taken this with me to travel. I think usually if there's like, you know, in Europe, sometimes they don't take cards, so you need to have cash and stuff like that. And so I think that might have been the last time I took this around, but I really like haven't used this in so long, but I can't bring myself to get rid of it because of like just how many memories it holds. Without the, you know, nostalgia and like all of this tied to it, I would steer away from buying a full-size wallet these days. Bags are getting smaller and smaller. I don't even think this wallet fits in most of my bags, given that most of my bags are a little bit smaller. And I just don't feel like it's necessary. We're not carrying, you know, 10, 15 cards. A lot of the like rewards cards or like those boba cards, they're all virtual now. Like you don't need to have such a big wallet. On top of that, there's places here in California that don't even take cash anymore. They are a cashless business. So everything is on card. Everybody takes Apple Pay. I really don't think you need a full-size wallet. Is this nice to have? Absolutely. And if you tend to use bigger bags, you carry bigger things, I think this works for you, then yes. And this is also very carefree. But if you are like me, you carry the bare minimum, you barely leave your house, you use the same 2 cards, you Apple Pay when you can, you don't carry any cash, I don't think you need this. And this was great for when I got it. This was a great memory. I could see myself using this in the future. I also see myself keeping this for the rest of my life. But I don't think you need this. Moving on to passport holders. I got this actually as a birthday gift from my best friend, and I have made a few videos around SLGs you don't need. And I think one of them I mentioned more recently is a passport holder. I would not recommend getting a designer passport holder. I don't think it's worth it unless you're really traveling all that much, but having a passport holder is annoying. No one really talks about that, especially when you need to take out your passport and then scan it through the machine. It doesn't scan with the passport holder. You have to take it out of the holder and then scan it. The one thing I will say about this passport holder specifically is I do like all the card slots that it comes in, and the way that I kind of put it in there, it's easy to just take in and out. So I don't have, I mean, if I put it in correctly, it's a little bit harder to take in and out. But I do really like this. And I feel like the price of the Kate Spade passport holder, I think it's around like $100. I think that this is worth it if you really insist on getting one. I don't think it's necessary. I think the one like benefit of actually having this is being able to differentiate my passport and my fiance's passport. If they're both stacked together, his doesn't have a cover and mine has a cover, right? So I think that's a good way to like identify whose passport is whose, especially if you're traveling with a big family, you know, all of this stuff. I don't really think this is necessary. If you insist on getting one, I really push for like a more affordable option. I don't think you need a Louis Vuitton one. You don't need a Gucci one. And if anything, I would feel like if you're holding like a luxury passport holder, you might be a target for, you know, pickpocketers or different things like that. So I am a very modest traveler, as modest as I can be. I'm a pretty modest traveler. I don't really want to like flex while on vacation. I don't want to make myself a target. I don't want people to, you know, pickpocket me and all of these things. And so I would err on the side of caution and just say pass for the designer passport holder. If you really want one, I think Kate Spade's a great option. This is also super carefree. It's in there like Saffiano leather, but it's so coated that it's basically plastic and it's just so carefree. So yeah, passport holder. If you really insist on getting one, get a cheaper one. I really don't think it's necessary though. Speaking of unnecessary, we have this Dior pouch. This is the Dior Montagne pouch. I got this in Paris And if you're asking why, I honestly don't know. I think when I was in Paris, I was really itching to buy something from Dior. When I was in Paris, it was like around Christmas time. You know, Dior has the most stunning holiday packaging. I think out of all the designer houses, Dior has the best holiday packaging. And I think because of that, I was in Paris and I was like, you know, I haven't bought anything from Dior. I'm just gonna get something. So this is what I bought. This is fucking useless. I'm not the type of person that carries around a big pouch of things you might need. I'm not the type of person to carry around Advil, extra tampons, pens, or paper, or extra napkins and tissues and hand cream and all these other things that I feel like some people carry around. You're either someone who carries around a ton of stuff or nothing at all. And I am one of those people that carry nothing at all. And so this pouch is not very useful. This is supposed to be a cosmetic pouch, but if I'm traveling, I carry around like a big cosmetic bag. This does not fit all the cosmetics that I need. And so this is really something that you would use for like day of, just keep in your bag like extra sunscreen, extra hand sanitizer, Advil, tampons, you know, things like that. But I'm not that person that carries these things around. I will say I kind of like forced myself to use it because I did spend, I think it's like $600 or something like that on this stupid pouch. But like I put like, I think phone chargers in here. Like if I took this to work, I put like all the miscellaneous stuff so they're not just like floating around my bag. It's almost like I have to force myself to use it. Otherwise I wouldn't use it. And for that reason, I have to say that this is not worth the money. You don't need this. Any pouch will do too. And I also feel like when you spend enough at like Ulta or whatever, they always give you these like free makeup pouches, and those get the job done. You don't need to splurge on a designer pouch. This is just, this is useless. Last but not least, probably the most useful, but something I actually haven't really used all too much, is this from Polène. This is their flap card holder with the ability to wear it as a crossbody. I love the adjustable strap on this. I think Polène does that really well, where most if all of their bags have some sort of adjustable strap. So it is very size inclusive. Like some people are taller, some people are shorter, you know, you can get it to match whatever length that you need it to match to. And I think that this is a really spacious card holder. I actually have the Sept bags as well. I used to have the large size. That was my original first Polène bag, and then I actually got rid of that because I never used it. And then I got the mini size, which I use quite a bit more. And the other ones, they're kind of like you pull this down and then this pops up. So I thought that would be very similar to how this opens. Thankfully, this is just a button closure, so it's so much easier to get in and out of. Here are all the card slots that it has. It has so many card slots. It even has a zipper closure as well. The one thing that this doesn't have that I was kind of expecting a wallet of this size to have is like a cash slot. I feel like usually for these wallets, if you open them like this, they have like this opening here where you're able to put some cash, and it doesn't have that, but you can also fold up your cash and put it in the zipper pocket here. There's just quite a bit of compartments that I really like this. I feel like this has a lot of use cases. The color is stunning. The smooth leather is stunning. I really don't have enough good things to say about this. This is just not something where my cards are already in there, so I haven't reached for, but I could see someone like my mom using this where she needs to have her phone, maybe a few cards, and she's ready to go run errands. I think this is perfect. I mean, that's really all you need if you're running errands. And then lastly, this strap is also removable, so if you don't want to have the strap dangling around and you just want to use this as a card holder wallet, you can always take that off and use it that way. There is one without the ability to attach the strap, but I think that was only a little bit cheaper. So I like the option of having the strap, and I can always take off the strap versus not even having the ability to attach the strap anyways. So I think this is a really good value, really good bang for your buck. I think this has a lot of use cases. If you're just running errands, you know, you want to be hands-free, you don't have too much to carry. I think this is a great option. Okay, so that sums it up for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments if you guys are team card holder, team full-size wallet. Like, where are you guys on the card holder versus full-size wallet team? I will leave another video for you guys here, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!